Alright, what's up, guys? Just getting everything settled here. Alright, what's up, guys? It's Saturday. You know what that means. It's time for your weekly dose of the Pro Wrestling Injection right here on the Sports Hit List by the fans for the fans. I'm your host, Christian, and today we're doing the post show for Ring of Honor Final Battle. We hit you up with the pre show beforehand. So if you haven't seen the show yet, if you want to watch the pre show, go back and watch that. But we got the post show here for you. And uh, hey, I thought this was a great show. I thought this was an excellent show tonight. Um, very fun show to watch. Felt like a old NXT takeover. A little bit of like a bigger NXT takeover in terms of match card length, but the show is very good. There's definitely a media scrum going on right now after this, so um, the news is probably we're probably going to cover that next Wednesday on the Dynamite review, and there'll probably be information about the Ring of Honor television deal and relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling and other things to come. But anyway, we're just gonna jump right into the matches here because I know a lot of people who may be seeing this uh, have a short time frame before they got to go watch NXT Deadline. So we're gonna wrap things up quickly here and just get right into this show. Let's see. So first off, we had Mascara Dorada and Jeff Cobb for your first zero-hour match, and I thought this was a really fun match. Two clash of styles, one high flyer. I mean, Mascara Dorada's nickname is the King of the Ropes, and then you got just the Hawaiian Hulk. You got the a Titan in Jeff Cobb, a mobile Titan, a mobile big man. The guy can move around like any other big, like no other big man I've ever seen. So, this was a very exciting match to watch. Great stuff. Not that long. Um, Ended with the tour of the islands from Jeff Cobb and a great finish. There was no doubt that Jeff Cobb was going over here. I mean, they use him a lot from New Japan, and he's so protected in New Japan. He's not going to be losing to a guy like Mascara Dorada. I mean, the guy has Jeff Cobb kind of went even with Kazuchika Okada in a match series the other year. So Jeff Cobb was really in no jeopardy to lose this match, but it was nice to have him on the card because him not being in World Tag League and not being in Japan. So it was nice to see, and this was a very fun match. All the 0 hour, the 0 hour matches that happened, they're all on YouTube. They're all free to watch, so you can go check those out. The final 0 hour match, what we're going to talk about shortly, was very good and is definitely worthy of going out of your way to watch. So, but that was the first opening match with Jeff Cobb and Mascara Dorada, and Jeff Cobb picked up the victory in a very good match. So go check that one out. Next up, we had the Daddy Magic and Cool Hand Angelo Parker. Um, Matt Menard and Angelo Parker versus the Shinobi Shadow Squad, Eli Isom and Cheeseburger. And Cheeseburger, as ever, is over because everywhere Cheeseburger goes, he is very over in Ring of Honor, AEW, Dark, anything he does. Um, it's just, I mean, the guy. I think probably he'll get signed for Ring of Honor. Cheeseburger just to do the how over. Um, but I mean, he. I mean, the guy is a very. I wouldn't say underestimated, but it's like underrated type of wrestler. I mean, he's been in Japan in the Tokyo Dome. He has had training from Jushin Thunder Liger. That's brought up on commentary a lot. He has been in Mexico. He has been in he's been in Madison Square Garden. The guy's been everywhere. So I just hope Cheeseburger gets a lot more to do when Ring of Honor's television deal comes around. But there really wasn't much to say about this match. It was just a quick tag match where Andrew Matt Menard and Angelo Parker went over on the baby faces here because Matt Menard and Angela Parker, they would have this would not be the last time we would see them on the show. We would see them at least 3 or 4 more times on this show. So uh it's they had a big role tonight because of the Jericho Appreciation Society stuff tonight. But I mean, it was a good match. Nothing too long. It was just pretty short, kind of enhancement match for Angelo and Matt Menard. So nothing really much to say about here, but they did pick up the victory, and I mean, we'll just see where what happens with the Ring of Honor TV stuff because I mean, Angelo and Matt Menard, they're not gonna have. They're not going to be on Ring of Honor most likely. It's probably going to be Cheeseburger and Eli Isom that you'll see mostly on there. So we'll get to that. But I'm just letting Zach know something. Uh, but anyway, that was that match, and the next zero hour match we had was Willow Nightingale versus Trish Adora, which was a very good match. This is also another very good match. Um, but it's it was. I mean, it did feel like a enhanced dark elevation match where like you obviously know who's gonna win because of Willow being signed and Trisha not. But I wouldn't be surprised if they signed Trisha Dora to a deal for Ring of Honor because she's very good because she has been on Ring of Honor before even Tony Khan purchased it. I believe she was in the she was in the tournament. I think she made it to the semifinals. Who is going to be crowned the Ring of Honor Women's Champion when Roxy won it, or Roxanne Perez, who is on NXT right now. And Zach just changed the title for me on the stream, so I thank you. Also the pre-show one had that too, but thanks a lot for that. I appreciate it because I don't know how to do it. I don't think even think I can, but anyway, Willow. This is just basically another showcase for Willow. Willow looked great. She was doing some cool babyface stuff where she was like, she was go for a pin and she would like smile at the camera like that. But just Willow's great. She is fantastic. She's a great babyface. She's great in the ring. It's so funny that her entrance music is everyone loves it, but it's like MJF's where it's actually stock music. You could use it for free on anything you want because it's royalty free stock music and it's so good. But anyway, Willow hits the Doctor Bomb on Trish Adora and puts her away. And I just thought this match was real good. Nothing really major here. No storylines attached, but just a quick win for Willow, and because she's usually on these Ring of Honor shows, and I hope they get Trish Adora for Ring of Honor because she is also very good. So that was that match, and then we get to the final zero-hour match, which was something you definitely want to go out of your way to watch. And it was the Kingdom, the Miracle Mike Bennett and Matt Taven with Maria Canales versus Top Flight Dante and Darius Martin. This match was excellent. This was a great match. I mean, they stole. They stole some of the show. This was an excellent match. Just innovative offense after innovative offense. Great tag team maneuvers from both teams. Maria ended up getting kicked out like near the end of the matchup. But I'm so happy that Darius is finally healthy and finally back just to see Top Flight again because the moves these guys were doing crazy. Darius lifting up Dante over Mike Bennett, and then they do a move, or you got Mike Bennett and Matt Taven. They're doing a move, and then Dante flips onto the guy's arms to break their clutch to go for a roll up. I mean, it was just a great match. Just it was all action. No really downtime in the match. Just a great hot tag team match for the crowd to get ready for the start of the main card. But the finish is what I really want to talk about because the finish was excellent. The finish was so basically how almost like how when Dax Harwood does that powerbomb when he bounces him off the ropes and does it. Darius had Mike Bennett in a powerbomb position, and then Dante did his nosedive finish, the one where he jumps from rope to rope and does the backflip. So Dante's on the apron, and Darius is holding Mike Bennett in the powerbomb position, and he has his back turned to where Dante is going to come off the second rope. So Dante jumps the first rope, jumps the second rope, backflips, and Darius and Dante do like a power bomb, like an assisted power bomb with a backflip with Dante's nosedive. It was an incredible finishing move. It's all over Twitter, so you can go look at it if you missed it. But this was so good. Top Flight get the victory. It was one of the best tag team finishes I've ever seen, and they need to keep this as their tag team finish because this is one of the best tag team finishes in the business right now. Because oh my god, it was unbelievable to see. So, if there's any match on the 0 hour that you should go back and watch, it is this one. It is on for free on YouTube, so definitely go back and check this one out. Very good stuff from both teams here. Now we get into the main card with AR Fox and Blake Christian versus Dralistico and Roosh. And this match again was great. It was a great tag team match. We'll get into the finish, but accompanying Jalistico and Roosh to the ring was Preston Vance and Jose. But I forgot to mention this on the pre-show when I was talking about how Jalistico and Dragon Lee were brothers. I always forget, since he doesn't wear a mask, it just doesn't compute with me that Roosh is also Roosh. I mean, Jalistico and Dragon Lee, their other brother is Roosh. So, because I remember like, I didn't know that Dragon Lee and Roosh were brothers until the last Ring of Honor pay per view, and then when they tagged that against the Elite Dynamite with that one time. But I forgot. But I'm like, oh yeah, Jalistico and Dragon Lee are brothers, so that means Roosh must be their brother as well. So yeah, I forgot they were brothers, and looking at him, he obviously is. But I think it was my second time seeing Jalistico. I think I saw him once on a Triple Mania show. The guy is great. I mean, he looks like Dragon Lee, and he he's almost kind of a mixture of Dragon Lee and Roosh because he's kind of like in the middle size wise. But the match was ended up being great. AR Fox and Blake Christian, they work well. I mean, those guys are great. AR Fox, he hit this one move where it was, well, not one move, but he kept going. He did a Tope Con Hero, and then he went back and did another Tope Con Hero. Then he went another one, but with a flip. Then he went another one with a flip. It was crazy. But just a high flying matchup, hard hitting matchup. Roosh was stiffer than ever in this match. He was stiff as shit. He was beating the shit out of these guys. He was the snap on his punches were crazy. Oh my Lord, have mercy. But yeah, so the match was great. Unfortunately, the finish got a little screwed up, where I believe AR Fox hit a assisted Spanish fly, like the seated springboard Spanish fly that he does, and he covered Jalistico. Jalistico kicked out, but the ref, Stefan Smith, counted three, and even AR Fox was like, that was two, right? And then, but no, Stefan Smith rang the bell, and they started playing AR Fox's music, and the whole, and Roosh was like pissed off, and the whole finish was screwed up. I don't think Blake Christian and AR Fox were gonna win. I think that's part of the reason too. Just the finish was a little mucked up. But anyway, after the match, Jalistico and Roosh beat up Blake Christian and AR Fox. They hit him with some really like shoot looking chair shots. One to the head of Blake Christian, one to like the hand of AR Fox. So that was a little weird because they looked like they were trying to get their heat back after they kind of got screwed. But yeah. Anyway, it was just a great match that just got cut short because of a unfortunate botch in the finish. But uh, I hope maybe they can do it again and just with a decisive finish and like something else like that. But anyway, just the match was before that was great. And I think, but I still think you should go out of your way to go see it. But just the finish was a little wonky. But anyway, Blake Christian and AR Fox pick up the win. I don't think that was supposed to happen. But anyway, that's what happened in that match. And let's get to the next match here, which was for the Ring of Honor Women's title, being Mercedes Martinez versus Athena. So you wouldn't know it if it was your first time seeing both these women, but Athena was the heel and Mercedes was the babyface, but you wouldn't know that because they were in Texas. They were in Arlington, Texas tonight for the show. Athena is from Dallas, so Texas. I mean, her parents are in the crowd. Like I think it was her mom, her dad, and her grandmother were in the crowd. So it was very, very pro Athena for this show. And I mean, I think even if they weren't in her hometown, I think it would have been pro Athena because a lot of people are into what Athena's doing right now. And Mercedes hasn't been on TV for 3 months because of an injury. But the match ended up being pretty good. It was technical at some points. It was hard hitting at some points. They took a lot of major bumps to the apron on the outside. Just some hard hitting stuff from both these women. But the finish. The finish ended up being the finish was great here. Thank God the timing, because some of it could have got screwed up with the fans and stuff, but because the fans, so Athena took off the turnbuckle pad from the corner post on the right, and she threw it outside of the ring, and it ended up going in the crowd. And they think they need. I think they didn't have an extra one, so the security guard or somebody took the turnbuckle pad back, and the crowd started chanting "Give it back," and they were like booing the person and stuff like that. So who didn't give back the turnbuckle pad or whatever, but that was like literally going to the finish. They stopped doing it right before she hit the eclipse, or the O face as she calls it now. Her beautiful stunner, top rope stunner, DDT type day stunner, cutter, stunner. Um, but Athena hits the O face. She pins Mercedes Martinez, and Athena is the new AEW new Ring of Honor Women's World Champion. I think this is a great decision. I think we need to see Athena a lot more than we do right now. I think she's the perfect person to hold this belt. I mean, people are really into Athena and what she's doing right now with her new attitude and her new heel turn. So I'm very excited to see this Athena Ring of Honor Women's title, and I hope she gets some more matches. I know Tony Khan said he's going to limit the extent of Ring of Honor on AEW television, but I really wouldn't complain if you had an Athena versus Jamie Hayter, or Athena versus Tony Storm, or Athena versus Ruby Soho, or Hikaru Shida, or Willow, or something like that on AEW television, until Ring of Honor gets its TV deal, which we don't know about, which the scrum is going on as we speak, so we'll definitely get to that Wednesday. But this was a good match, and Athena picks up the victory. Next up, we had Shane Taylor Promotions versus Swerve in Our Glory, which was a battle of egos. Everybody had an agenda in this match. So first off, on Swerve in Our Glory's entrance, Swerve did not fist bump Keith Lee. He walked to the ring, so you obviously knew that Keith Lee was going to be on edge. Keith Lee and Swerve were going to be on edge throughout the length of this match. But this match ended up being a lot better than I was expecting it to be. I've seen Shane Taylor wrestle before. I have not seen JD Griffey all that much besides enhancement talent matches on Dark and Dark Elevation, but I was impressed by JD Griffey. I thought he was good. His MMA like shooter style was pretty cool. I liked how he wore like the MMA gloves. You don't really see a lot of people using the gloves. But Shane Taylor, I knew the guy can move around, but I didn't think he could move around this good. But he's very similar to Keith Lee, where he's a big guy, but he can move around. Shane Taylor, though, there was a spot in this match where Keith Lee caught Shane Taylor coming off the top rope and caught this guy. Oh my lord, this guy Shane Taylor can't be north of 350 pounds, and Keith Lee just picked him up like he was a small child. But that was most of this match. Where it was Keith Lee trying to deal with Shane Taylor and JD Griffey, and then there being miscommunications with him and Swerve. There was a part where Swerve ended up basically Keith Lee they were trying to do the thing where Keith Lee gets him on the shoulder, he throws him down, and then Swerve does the kick to the head. But what ended up happening was Swerve he threw Shane Taylor down. Shane Taylor ducked, and Keith Lee nailed Swerve with a forearm in the face. And after that, all hell broke loose, where Swerve was like, "Fuck this, I'm out of here." He left. He flipped off the crowd, and he left. And that led into the finish, where Shane Taylor ended up getting hit out of the ring. Keith Lee put JD Griffey up for the Big Bang Catastrophe and hit it and pinned JD Griffey for the win for Swerve in Our Glory. So that's something you got to remember. Keith Lee won without Swerve. He didn't need Swerve to get the victory. He didn't need Swerve at all. So, I mean, that's going to be something that's probably going to be used in promos, but he didn't need Swerve to win. And that is going to be a telltale thing of this feud to come. I don't know when they're going to do this match between Swerve and Keith Lee. It could be at New Year's Smash. It could be at Revolution. I prefer it to be at Revolution because it is a bit a higher end feud. But that's what happened in this match, and Swerve in Our Glory came out victorious, even though one tag partner left at the end of the match. But great stuff here from both guys. I was very impressed with JD Griffey and Shane Taylor here. Next up, we had the Trios title match, Ring of Honor World 6-Man Tag Team Championship match with Dalton Castle and the Boys versus the Embassies, Gates of Agony, and Brian Cage with Prince Nana. This match is fun. Good stuff here from both teams. I mean, Dalton and the Boys are obviously over as shit. They're extremely entertaining. I there was one part in the match where Dalton was he stuck in his he's like bring me a boy, and he started throwing the boys at Khan and Toa Leona and Brian Cage. That was a great spot. And Brandon and Brent Tate, who are the boys, the Tate twins, they got their fair share in this match too. They got a lot of offense on Brian Cage, Khan, and Toa Leona, but they got their offense in. It was pretty good. But Dalton was the star of the show. Obviously, everyone popped huge for whatever Dalton did. There was a point where Dalton tried to grab Prince Nana and try to bring him into the ring and beat him up, but then it ended up with him getting bunched out of the ring. The finish ended up, I think it was Brandon Tate getting hit with the drill claw. I think he got hit with the drill claw, and yeah, he got hit. I think Brandon Tate got hit with the drill claw, and then um, Brent and Dalton they were on the floor, and then they did this cool finish, the embassy, where they swung Brandon into Brian Cage up in the air to powerbomb. It was a really cool finish, and with a smaller guy like Brandon Tate, I mean, it really worked well. And so they finished him with that, and the embassy, Bishop Khan, Toa Leona, and Brian Cage are your new Ring of Honor World Six-Man Tag Team Champions. And hey, it was just it was good stuff here. I predicted that the embassy would win here. I mean, look at Dalton Dalton is over, but I mean the boys aren't really believable in taking down a Bishop Khan or a Toa Leona or a Brian Cage. So it really made sense. I mean, it's a new group that Tony formed with the Gates of Agony, so and the Embassy. Um, so I have no problem putting it on them. I think it was the right move. They could be dominant trios champions for a little bit until somebody takes them down. But yeah, so the Embassy are the new trios champions, and just pretty good stuff here. Next up, we had the Ring of Honor Pure Championship match between Wheeler Yuta and Daniel Garcia. And I liked for this match they had the score not scoreboard but like the HUD the overlay that they used to do for the Pure Rule matches where it would have the time ticking up. You would have the guys' names, and then under each man's name they would have three red dash marks, which would be the rope breaks that they would have. And they explain the rules of the match beforehand. But yeah, this was a really good pure technical wrestling match. Let me take a drink. Stay hydrated, folks. But this was a good pure rules wrestling match. A very very shoot like. I mean, these are the two killers of AEW, two of the four. They were really beating up on each other. Actually, it was cool to watch them use Daniel Garcia used the pure rule strategy to his advantage early on, where he would make Wheeler Yuta take his rope breaks, and about 5 minutes in, Wheeler Yuta was at a rope break. So near the end of the match, Daniel Garcia put Wheeler Yuta in the Dragon Tamer. Was it Dragon Slayer or Dragon Tamer? I think it is. He put him in the Dragon Tamer, and and Wheeler couldn't do anything about it. He was like hanging out of the ring while he was in the Dragon Tamer, and he just couldn't do anything about it because he was at a rope breaks. They also started the match with two closed fists. You only get one, and so they both used them for the first two moves of the match. And the judges for the match were Christopher Daniels, Jerry Lynn, and B.J. Whitmer. All Ring of Honor stalwarts. So that was cool to see. But yeah, just a great stuff from here in this match. The finish ended up being he got him in like a head and arms type like triangle where he was able to head and arm kind of like hold, where he was basically he was able to elbow him in the head until he went out. I've seen this finish in real life in UFC before, so it was very believable. But he put him in this thing. Yuta kept elbowing Garcia. He elbowed him and elbowed him. He wouldn't stop elbowing because he couldn't do anything. His arms were out. His legs were extended. He couldn't do anything. But it ended up with Wheeler Yuta elbowing Daniel Garcia so much that Daniel Garcia passed out and went out, and they called the match. It was a ref stoppage, and Wheeler Yuta defeats Daniel Garcia and is now once again. I think Ian Riccaboni on commentary said that this he is the first ever two-time pure champion. I don't. I'm gonna have to check that, but that's what he said on commentary. And yeah, so Wheeler Yuta wins back his pure title, and defeats the JAS's Daniel Garcia in a great match. So that was really good. And what I said about Ian Riccaboni, I want to give a shout out to Ian Riccaboni and Caprice Coleman. Those guys definitely had the night of their lives on commentary. That was the best I've ever heard of both of them, individually and as a pair. They were exceptional on commentary tonight. They were great. They were entertaining. They were knowledgeable. Just great commentary all around. And that's something people don't give a lot of credit to is the commentators, because when during a part of the main event when there was no commentary, it was very noticeable. And when there's no commentary, it doesn't really help the match. It's better to learn while watching a match than to just sit there and try to pick apart stuff that you probably need a little bit more elaboration on. But anyway, that was that match, and Wheeler Yuta wins again. Next up, oh boy, we have the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship match. First off, I really wish they main evented with this, because everything after this could not follow it, and it hurt the crowd reactions because the two matches were kind of like in dead spots because of this match, which they should have known because the last two matches were out of this world. But before we even get into this match, these guys did it again. This is the third match these guys have ever had together, and they did it again. This was another 5-star classic. People are making their match. That's why we didn't do our match of the year show yet, because we want to wait until this show's over, until NXT's over, until Winter is Coming is over, to do our matches, to do our year-end award show. But however, this match here, if this match is going to be on a lot of people's match of the year ballots, or it's either going to be their match of the year or top 5 matches of the year or best tag match of the year, but this match was unbelievable. This was an unbelievable bloodbath, a war between 4 men. I really can't say enough good things about this match. You really have to go back and watch this match yourself. Find this match, go watch it. If you watch one match from this entire show, watch this match. This match was excellent. This was a top 10 tag match I've ever seen. Top 5 tag match I've probably in this year, with their 2 other matches. But oh my god, I just really don't know where to start on this match. All 4 guys were busted open very early. It was a bloodbath. The canvas was damn near half red. Cash and Dax were both wearing white, which was very smart. And they were completely red by the end of this match. The dog collar stipulation was incredible. The chair spots, the chain spots, the spots of this match. I can't do it justice. You have to watch this for yourself. I cannot break this down enough. But I just can't break this down spot by spot without doing it the justice it deserves. But this match is fantastic. Every man here worked their ass off, and it's a fucking shame that the Briscoes are banned from television, because if they weren't, people would be giving them the same accolades that they do the Young Bucks and FTR and the Usos and the Lucha Bros, New Day, all them. But just long story short, go watch the match. The finish ended up being ref stoppage, because Dax Harwood was in a crossface with the chain wrapped around his eyes, his head. It was in his mouth, and he passed out. And while Cash was trying to get in the ring to break it, Mark Briscoe was on the outside holding him back by his neck with the chain. So the Briscoes are your new Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions. I mean, this was out of this world. But yeah, great stuff here from both guys. I mean, both teams, and yeah, good stuff. Please go watch it. It definitely is a match of the year. Next up, we had the Ring of Honor television title match between Samoa Joe and Juice Robinson. Um, so basically, what happened was the crowd was kind of a little tired from the last match. I mean, I felt bad for these guys because they were in the dead spot. There's no following what just happened with the Briscoes and FTR, but the match was still good. Juice had a new theme, kind of a remix theme of his Bullet Club theme, but still had Bullet Club stuff on him. But he had new boots, he had tights on. He hasn't worn tights since like 2017. He had a haircut. I mean, the guy looked good. He looked leaned up. I mean, but yeah, good stuff here. Um, but yeah, no interference from Wardlow, which I was very surprised about, or anybody else like a Jay White. Um, but this was just kind of a simple match, just pretty good. Um, Juice got his stuff in, Joe got his stuff in. Not really much to say. It was just a good match. Joe ended up pinning uh, Juice with the Muscle Buster to retain his television title, and that really was all there is to it. This was just to get people more familiar with Juice Robinson. I'm already familiar because I watched him for years in New Japan, and I think people are going to be very excited, and people are going to learn who Juice Robinson is quick because the guy is legitimately a fantastic wrestler, babyface and heel. So I can't wait to see more people get involved with him. But yeah, great stuff here. And I kind of feel bad because they were in a dead spot, but just good stuff here from both guys. But that takes us into our main event. Our main event was Claudio Castagnoli versus Chris Jericho for the Ring of Honor World Title. Great stuff here. Again, I mean, I keep saying it, but a lot of the matches here were great. Before we even get into this match, there was a thing where Daddy Magic and Angelo Parker interrupted Top Flight, and they started brawling out to the crowd. That was before the pure title match. It just kind of led into it. But they would show up again in this match, but we'll talk about that. But it was cool to see that it was just cool to see Jericho in a Ring of Honor environment. Jericho has never wrestled in Ring of Honor before. He's wrestled as a Ring of Honor World Champion, obviously, but he's never been in Ring of Honor or at a Ring of Honor event. So it was cool to see him in a Ring of Honor environment. Just this guy's career is just so crazy everywhere he's been and everything he's held. But the match itself was very, very good. It was slow at the beginning, slow and methodical to start out. But it really picked up at the end with the near falls, and I loved the crowd when they would be like them counting out. For the countouts they would do like 6, 7, ocho, 9, and then so instead they replaced 8 with ocho. So the rotations for the spins with Claudio, they did ocho. For the corner punches, they did ocho. It was really cool, but the match was great. Jericho got his offense in. Later into the match, Angelo and Matt Menard came down. Angelo Parker and Matt Menard came down. Tried to sneak Jericho the belt. The what's it called? The bat. Floyd, and he actually hit him with it. And they kind of got the crowd fooled because the crowd kind of like took the wind out of their sails. But then Claudio kicked out, and the crowd went wild, and it was all up from there. Just great stuff, back and forth from Chris Jericho. There was a spot where Claudio was about to spin Jericho, but Jericho like spun out of it and rolled up Claudio, which is a really cool counter. I don't think I've ever seen anybody counter Claudio's spin ever before. But the finish of this match is what really just made this match great. The finish was Claudio finally got Jericho in for the big swing. So just Claudio spinning Jericho. He gets to 10. He gets to 20. He's going damn near 30 times. He's going. I don't know what number he got, but he got over 30. But Jericho lowers while he's getting spun, and he's tapping out as he's spun, as he's being swung. So Jericho's tapping out while just Claudio spinning him, and that's the end of the match. Claudio wins his second Ring of Honor World Championship, and he is now the new Ring of Honor World Champion yet again. And the Blackpool Combat Club versus Jericho Appreciation Society feud is over. Um, I mean, this match was fun. Even like the beginning when the first thing was Jericho got out and started chasing Riccaboni and Caprice out of their announcers desk. So there was no commentary for like the first 2 minutes of the match. But that this was just a great stuff with the finish and the tap on the spin. But this was really a fun one here. And hey, honor has been restored to Ring of Honor with Claudio. Yuta came out with his pure title. They celebrated. People were throwing the streamers in the ring like they used to do for old Ring of Honor shows. That was a really cool visual. Claudio was taking pictures and slapping hands with people outside. He went up to Caprice and Ian and like said like, oh, like we're back, like everyone, they were saying thank you to him. But that's how the show went off the air. Very happy moment with Claudio winning again, and Chris Jericho finally the final boss of basically Ring of Honor, and the blight of Ring of Honor finally being vanquished in Jericho. And Nancy in the chat says match of the night for this is 9 minutes ago, so probably the Briscoes FTR, absolutely. And it's not every day you see the referee get busted open in a match, which is, yes, Mike Posey, the referee in that match, did get busted open. Another reason why you should go watch that match. But that's how they went off the air with Jericho and Claudio winning the title. Great show here. We're going to have more information coming out of the media scrum on Wednesday after the Winter is Coming episode of Dynamite on the Injection Live at 10 o'clock. But yeah, thanks everybody for joining me on this fun little review and like a little recap of Ring of Honor Final Battle. It was a great show. I think it's worth the money. I think it was great to go out of your way to watch. Fun thing to do in a midday. Obviously, go back and go see Briscoe's FTR 3. Excellent match, but that was really it. And can't wait to see where Ring of Honor goes, because I'll definitely be watching Ring of Honor once the television show starts. So we'll just have to wait and see. Like, follow, subscribe to all Hitless content on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram. You can follow the Pro Wrestling Injection on Instagram as well. And that's it for me. I'm Christian. We're going to have all the boys back on Wednesday. And thanks for checking out Ring of Honor Final Battle pre and post show. Have a good night and enjoy NXT Deadline if you're going to watch it.